Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Gaming on the Run.
Although we're not really on the run right now, we are sitting quite comfortably in James's couch. We have a buttload of stuff to show you that we've managed to pick up over the past couple of days.
Couple of days, it's been like a month.
I'm still technically not wrong, past couple of days. Alright, let's get started. Go ahead.
First things first, I went to GameStop earlier and I picked up Song of the Deep. I know nothing about this game except I've heard people saying it's good. And it's a new game that was only $15, which is how I justified it.
GameStop has been pushing this game ever since like a month before its release, and the artwork is supposed to be all done by hand, and it's talking about this little explorer girl who takes a submarine down to the bottom of the ocean to find her father, and you have to solve puzzles and use some weird battle mechanic to explore the oceans. It's supposed to be fantastic. I mean, it has its own little pop figurine. It's pretty cool.
Actually, what's interesting, GameStop actually published this one. Yep, yeah. There you see, Game Trust. A few weeks ago, I went and visited my brother-in-law, my sister, and my niece and nephew in Louisiana. They live in Mandeville. It's about 45 minutes, half an hour from New Orleans. And my brother-in-law took me to a little store there. I think it's a chain of stores called Second and Charles. Picked up a few games there that were pretty cheap. They actually had a $5 bin, so I got Earthworm Jim on the Genesis, an all-time classic that I, for some reason, didn't own on the Genesis.
What else?
I got Jeanne d'Arc for the PSP.
For those of you who don't know, Jeanne d'Arc is the French pronunciation of Joan of Arc, the woman who fought for the Crusades, I think, and claimed to have the voice of God.
Also from Second Charles was Sewer Shark for Sega CD. I only paid $2 for this.
Well, for a game called Sewer Shark, if they asked you to pay any more, I'd laugh.
Alright, it's starting to fall. Our tower is crumbling.
Next we have Pac-Man, The Ghostly Adventures.
Everything is falling.
This game looks kind of scary, not gonna lie. This new imagining of Pac-Man is kind of weird, and the fact that his ghosts are now his friends is kind of stupid.
What is pretty cool about it is I someday do want to get a full Wii U set, and for on sale for $5.25. It's so stupid I had to get it. Mini Cooper Desktop Racing.
And no, you're not actually racing on a desktop.
The coolest thing I found is out front at Second Charles they had free stuff, not only broken electronics. And I look in, and I find an N64. Granted, it has a sticker on top, and it was missing the jumper pack, and it has a little crack in the back by where the power supply was, and it was missing the power supply, but for free, I couldn't pass it up. And actually,
we have a plan for this N64.
We have a plan, and I'm not going to spoil whether it does or not. Oh, okay, I'm going to be honest, it does work. I have something very special planned with this, and I don't mean cleaning it up. I mean, I will be cleaning it to
someone else.
Well, no, I will be cleaning it up, but you know, besides cleaning it up, I have something very special planned for this Nintendo 64.
You guys will see it later.
That I got for free at Second Charles. Let me tell you, we're going to keep you updated on N64 as it.
Well, there goes Pac-Man.
Pac-Man, we love you, we love you, man, but that's a little close for comfort.
Not even like 2.5 hours ago, we went to this pawn shop right outside where we live, and literally, it was all, they had like a bunch of guns on sale.
Bang bang!
A bunch of movies. And I do some exploring and I find their games rack. I find a pink DS Lite with stylus for $10.
And it had a free game in it.
And it had a free game in it too. A copy, oh, there goes Earthworm Jim.
Nintendogs!
Like
the green version.
The green version of Nintendogs was snuck inside the DS.
Green version is the rare version of Nintendogs that has a Venusaur in it.
It was really cool because the gentleman who was in charge at the counter while ringing me up for this pink DS Lite didn't notice that it had a game in it. So instead of charging me $10 extra, he just didn't even notice, and I got it scot-free, which was really cool because I needed to get a DS Lite or DS Fat to do some trades from older generation Pokemon games to the newer ones.
So I am a gigantic fan of Mega Man, and
if you haven't noticed,
Mega
Man right there in the corner.
So there's this little company online called Flashback Productions, so I figured I'd give them a shot, and I got myself a copy of Mega Man, The Wily Wars, complete in box, Retro Liberty would say, with Manuel. Very gourd. It's very gourd.
Very gourd. It's very gourd.
Very gourd.
Next, we have this game called Ratchet and Clank. And on the back it says, it's time to rip the galaxy a new one.
Yes.
Wow.
I actually got this one. This right here, GTA San Andreas.
Very fun game.
A game, surprisingly, I do have a memory of this when I was a kid. Must have been about 8 or so. And my best friend at the time,
You played GTA when you were 8?
Long story. His brother had the game. We snuck into his room.
And you played it?
We played. It was fun, but his dad found out. His dad got so pissed he actually smashed the disc.
Oh, dang.
But no, I got both these games at a thrift shop for $1 each.
Next we have We Love Katamari.
Walking Mr. Sunshine.
Yes, this one I actually just got off Amazon because I love Katamari and I was missing this one. And this is complete
With Manuel.
and yes, it has this awesome, royal rainbow disc with the King of All Cosmos face on it. You can't really see it here, but
Bullshit.
it's cool.
Next we have possibly the biggest disappointment in 2016.
Yes,
Mighty Number 9.
the U.S. presidential election. I actually backed this back in the day. I put back $100.
You put $100 to this game.
I still haven't received most of my perks. I received the shirt and received my Wii U download code. I think I paid $10 for this at a shop. And I have a physical version, I guess. What's cool about this one, though, is it does have a pretty sweet poster. More recently, and we'll go into more of this in the upcoming Let's Talk About Games episode, wink wink nudge nudge. But I went to a flea market, yeah. The weird thing is we don't actually have that many flea markets in this area. So imagine my surprise when I found an absolutely massive one right outside of town.
Hey, it's pretty lit.
Yeah, and I managed to get an Xbox there, and I'm saving the awesomely low price I got that for there.
A bit of video.
So I figured it was only natural that afterwards I go to our local game exchange and pick up for $8.
Boobs galore!
Yes, Dead or Alive Extreme Beach Volleyball. I now have all 3 of the main ones: Dead or Alive Extreme Beach Volleyball, Dead or Alive Extreme 2, and Dead or Alive Extreme 3 Fortune, which means the only one I'm missing, with the exception of the Vita version of Extreme 3, is Dead or Alive Paradise for the PSP. So yes, I do have the original Boobies Extreme Volleyball.
You know that this game was the first of its type to have each breast on each woman has its own jiggle physics. So they move on their own.
Yes, and as we all know, each one breast eventually became its own playable character in the Dead or Alive games.
Next we have possibly one of the weirdest Mario games.
Dance Dance Revolution Mario Mix. Yes, I actually picked this up with the dance pad for $10.
Even though there was a price tag on it that said 15.
I haggled.
I know.
Yeah, you always gotta haggle.
Kirby's Return to Dreamland. This game is supposed to be set right after Kirby's Epic Yarn. That's why it's called Return to Dreamland. And it has, for the first time in a long time, you can play as King DDD,
Meta Knight,
and this one banded Waddle Dee that uses a spear.
I freaking love Waddle Dee in this game, especially because instead of floating, he just jumps in midair.
It is literally the funniest thing to watch Waddle Dee try to float up, and he goes blah 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 blah. And James and I have already started playing this, and we love it.
I love it. We should do this for Team Nameless, really and truly.
Wink wink nudge nudge.
I kind of want to. And then from that same Goodwill, I got that for $2. Even though it has a $7 price sticker, funnily enough, from the Games Plus across the street, I found this for $2 at that same Goodwill. And that was Sonic Unleashed for the PS2.
Possibly one of the weirdest Sonic games because he turns into the Werehog.
I've never played the PS2 or Wii version. I actually really liked the 360 version. I mean, I don't hate the Werehog. It's okay. The daytime stages are a lot of fun.
That's true.
So, going way back, this was before I even took my New Orleans trip. You and I went to Walmart.
We went to Walmart and looked through the $5 bin, and James picked up The Wolf Among Us, which is... I don't know what it's about.
It's a Telltale Games game.
Okay.
So, all I know is it's Probably going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be story driven.
It's action, thriller, and it has different endings too, which is pretty cool. I'm reading on the back, it says, your choices matter and will change and define the story you experience. So it has multiple endings.
Yes.
And then I picked up, for James and I,
the best pickup out of all of
the
these.
best pickup we've had in a long time. The Zelda cartoon series Season 1.
Well, the only season.
Including episodes such as The Moblins Are Revolting,
Kiss and Tell,
A Hitch in the Works,
Underworld Connections,
and Sing for the Unicorn. This is gonna be the worst thing we ever watch, but it'll be a-okay.
Well, excuse me, princess.
Next, James and I,
we worked out a trade, so let's go through this trade we went through.
so I gave James a bunch of PSP games that I don't have a PSP anymore. James has one. I was like, whatever, he can have these.
They're over there. I'm too lazy to go through them.
I gave James a copy of A Link Between Worlds for the 3DS. Possibly one of the funnest Zelda games on the 3DS, besides Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask. This game is truly a lot of fun. Pick it up. It's like $30 nowadays. It's really great.
Here's a funny thing. This is one of my favorite Zelda games, and I thought I had an extra copy. So this guy wanted to play it, so I sold it to him, being a good friend, for $2.
James gave me this game for $2, and then
I realized it was my only copy, and I regretted it immediately.
He was like, ah, crap. So, kind of enough, I know that $2 isn't anything, and I know James likes the Zelda series a lot more than I do, so he let me finish it, play it through, beat it like once, and then I'm giving it back to him. But in return...
Well, here's the thing. We went to Classic Game Fest, and Colin, you might not realize this, Colin wasn't much of a collector. In fact, he wasn't a collector.
I technically wasn't, but going to see all the retro community and just hanging out with all those guys has really made me wanting to go back to my roots. So... when I first came here to the United States, I didn't have any inkling of like video games, because in Argentina they weren't a big part of my life. So the first video game I ever got here in the United States was Pokemon Sapphire version, the game that changed my life for real. And James had a copy of it. He never played it, and he was like, "Look, Colin, I know this is the first game you ever played in the United States, and it's still my favorite game so far. Alpha Sapphire is great, but nothing's better than the original Sapphire version." So James is, in return for the PSP games and A Link Between Worlds, James gave Sapphire to me.
But here's the thing. As we went over in the Pokemon episode, Pokemon's near and dear to us. Like, I have both Sapphire and Emerald, but the thing is, my copy of Emerald is the one I've had since I was a kid.
Yeah.
So I know Colin has, he has a connection to this game, and that's to be respected. Now here's the thing. And he gave me a bunch of PSP games and stuff I'm not going through. When he got rid of all his handheld stuff before, most of it went to me. By the way, I still have been loving that copy of Pokemon Crystal you gave me.
No worries, dude.
I've been loving that Nuzlocke challenge.
Oh, yeah.
But here's the thing. He gave me his original Game Boy, and then you sold off your Game Boy to like a local retro shop for like $10.
No, actually, I actually donated them to a Goodwill store because I was stupid at the time and didn't know I could make like $400. Colin Jones was a stupid kid in like 3 years ago.
I went at that same flea market, found something I like, and that is a Game Boy Advance SP. And this is yours, my friend.
Lamp oil, rope, bombs. You want it? It's yours, my friend, as long as you have enough rubies.
Yay!
This is yours.
Now I have, ironically, a red SP with Sapphire. And originally I had a blue SP and Sapphire. So it feels really weird to have a red SP, but it's super cool. Thank you so much, James. How much did this cost?
$5.
It was $5.
Technically, it cost me $15 because I realized it didn't come with the charger, so I stopped by Game Exchange and
you picked up a charger for me. So James is the best guy ever. He deserves all the love you guys give him. He works his butt off for this show. And
I'm going to miss you in Canada, man, because you're an awesome co-host. I got you that 2DS as well.
James has ironically been with me most of the times I've bought my handheld consoles. He was with me when I bought my white DSi. He straight out gave me a 2DS. And he gave me this Game Boy Advance SP, and he was there with me today when I got this pink DS Lite.
That's just how the tortilla folds. But wait,
there's more.
Yes, we went to Barnes and Noble of all places.
You got that at Barnes and Noble?
Yeah.
I got that at Target.
No, I got I have another Mega Man figure I got at Target.
Oh, yeah, it's okay.
They have these, which are random little Mega Man keychain figures.
I really hope you get cut.
I kind of want Dr. Wily. So there's 6 possible figures.
There's actually 7, I think.
7. Oh no, there's like 12.
There's
14.
14.
We can't do math. You see, he's a history major, and I ultimately went into film and writing.
I want to open it. So we're gonna open this little box guy on film. James doesn't know what it is until I tell him.
Yeah.
So
let's see what it is. And there's a bag in there. I have dibs on opening the bag.
Yeah. Come on, I'm trying to get this tape. Tape's off. Box is opening up. Oh, I ripped off the box. Oh, I'm a bad person. Oh. And there's a bag! James gets to open the bag.
What is in the bag? It's in the bag.
It's a keychain. So rip it up. Let's take a look.
Little Samson for the NES.
Oh my gosh, it's little Mega Man!
Oh, that's really cute. I actually just got another little Mega Man keychain.
Ah, I can see it. It's a. You'll be hypnotized by this Mega Man.
I got another one recently. See, I have 2 Mega Mans.
Yay! Oh, that one's super cute. I like it.
Yeah, so I have 2 Mega Man. So, anyways, ladies and gentlemen, we have, as always, like, comment, subscribe. We have a little call to action, though. You see, we run a little series called Let's Talk About Games.
Go check that out. That's pretty cool.
But the big thing about it is while we like going out to various taco places, even though in the last episode we just picked up Taco Bell. Hey, we're poor college students. We have to ask, do you have any good recipes for tacos?
Like, let us know, for real. Like, we had one guy... Hey! Like, we had one guy tell us instead of putting fresh lettuce on our tacos, to put spinach leaves. I never thought of doing that.
Yeah, so if that's weird, fine. And if you're in the Houston area or on Vancouver Island, leave us, the Houston, Texas area, I should specify.
Yeah, not Houston, Vancouver Island.
Yeah, like any of those 2 places, let us know what are good places for tacos or Mexican food or...
Like, for real, instead of going like the big chains like Taco Cabana and Taco Bell, those are great and all, but...
And we've gone to Torchy's and we filmed the stuff recently at a place called the Yucatan Taco Stand. But what are more good taco places or even just good taco recipes for when we want to stay in?
So viewers, that's up to you.
That's up to you. So anyways, we love you all.
Just remember,
That's how
your universe is an illusion, the reality is a hologram. Buy gold. Bye.
That's just how the tortilla folds.